No, yeah, she jump off of there. We'll put this over here. Knock that off. Knock that up there. Alright. Okay, let's get this over here. Oh, you son of a bitch. Look at you, you idiot. You idiot. Idiot. Look at the idiot. It's broke. Idiot. Alright, how am I going to fix this? Okay. Now I'm going to form this process here. Let's see what we can do. We'll put it together. Alright, we're going to make a form mounting stem of this thing. How about this? Why don't we tape this together and foam it? Let's do this. Where's the phone? I want to make sure I got the phone. Well, I got phone around here somewhere. I'm going to create something here. I'm going to do this and show y'all. This form was busted. I cut the head off to do something with it. Because I thought if I sculpted something and I didn't want a head looking straight out, how would I do it? I'd have to have a base to put it on where I could have a head turned or whatnot, and the whole form is busted. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to fix this by doing this real quick. Little redneck ingenuity. Alright. I could super glue it together, but it won't hold because that's exactly what the hell I did a minute ago. Super glued this shit together and it didn't hold right here on the front. But what I'm going to do, see it's hollow inside, right? Hold my beer, watch this shit. Got a hole in the bottom. Oh, you want to stick to everything else but what you're supposed to stick to. take broken things and fix them and make things with them for other intents and purposes and reasons. Now, normally I have a mast stand like this with a piece of PVC pipe that I weld down, and that becomes a mast stand. This is a mast and sculpting stand now being created from a broken form. And how I'm going to fix this is not just duct taping it. I'm going to make it a solid form. And this is exactly how it's going to be done. Just watch, I'm duct taping the bottom of this, you can see, right? This is a former Ed head. I had two of these, and this one got busted, and that's why I bought a new one. I never threw it away. As a matter of fact, I had to cut the head off of it, and that's exactly what the intents and purposes was to repurpose this into a different form to use for different purposes, which will be done in the near future. Because you got to get this tape to cooperate. I've been in Facebook jail for the last 30 days and haven't been able to do any lives or anything like that like I normally do. So I'm making up for that right now. This is to say you don't waste anything. You can repurpose everything you use. Now there's a lot of artists out there, oh, I can afford to buy a brand new Ed head. Go ahead. If you can afford it, good on you. But there's people that cannot. I could, but you know what? I'm all about trying to repurpose and educate people on how to do things and salvage stuff. So, oh crap, need scissors or a knife. I use scissors. I know I'm gonna mess this up if I don't do it right. Get some scissors. Cut this tape off the top. There we go. All right, now do the front of this, and then we'll be about ready to go. That's not really a paint project or anything. It's just me showing a little bit of ways to do something differently. Normally these don't break, but with the clutter and stuff that I've got in here of everything that's mismanaged and put aside and all that stuff, you can't really account for not having accidents, you know. There's shit's gonna go sideways any day of the week. And this is just basically, hey, what if this happens to me? What do I do? Well, this is it, I'm telling you. Grab you some duct tape. Tape up your form, like so. All the way around. I'm going to run another piece down here in the front. I got some clay to be repurposed over here. I got a bare head I got to pull out the water. So I got to turn around and take the bare head out of the water, wring that out, put the dry clay in the water, and it's a mess. It really is. So Plus, I got a lady that wants to buy the horse trailer, and she wants me to drive 2 hours away to do an exchange for a vehicle, and I'm like, the lights on the trailer don't work. I gotta get those fixed. And I can't do that right now because it's pouring down rain outside. Okay, so you got your form all taped up, right? Best thing to do, because it is a solid form, or not a solid form, it's hollow. Have a board or something up under the part where it stays flat. Okay? Now let me find this foam real quick. I know I've got it in here. Son of a gun. Here it is right here. Rigid pour foam. Alright, we got this. Let me get this out of the way and I'll be right back. There. And there. Get a cup. Grab a cup to use. I don't know one of those. You get one of the older cups. Or smooth on, smooth on, smooth on. These will work. One of these cups might be throwaways. Get a stick. Give me a stir stick. Shit, got a stir stick right here on the floor. Alright. Now, pour these foam in here. Get this measured up. Figure what we're going to use for this to start out. About 4 ounces and 4 ounces. 4 and 8. We'll start out with 4 ounces of A, 4 ounces of B. B doesn't want to open. Grab your pair of pliers. Right here. Grab that top. Twist that summer gun off. Hold up, that's not the right one. That's the bottle right shit I need to get. Pliers are very handy for opening tops and shit that don't want to open. You can get stuff that gets stuck in there. You got to make sure that you get it in good. Oh, son of a gun. Yep, we got 8 ounces exactly. There's a rigid pour foam. You got that in there, you got that. Get your lid on there. Stir stick. Stir this up. Got it all stirred up, pour it in there. All right down in the middle. These forms are made out of foam. So I've got so much foam, it's incredible. Probably have over 500 to 1,000 square yards of foam, expanding foam. yet to be used. So now I'm just going to slush it down on the inside of here. Make sure it kind of fills the bottom, because I want it to rise up from the bottom to the top. Notice it's not leaking. It's not leaking anywhere. I've got it taped up. I set it down there in the box just to make sure, and just wait for it to do its thing. Meanwhile, got this clay in the bag been fussing and fiddling with. This clay is repurposed clay, and I gotta see it's still sticking to my fingers. So I gotta chop that up, put that in bags, and put the bags in the water. The only problem is I had a bucket of water here, but I have something in the bucket. Got a bear skin. Now, the bear skin was soaking, so I get the ears turned in it, because it dried out and it was all hard leather. So I had to soak it in water. Make sure that it got moisturized. What I'm now doing is taking my fingers and putting it back in the bear form, the bear hide, because the ears got turned inside out. So I now have to push these ears out from the other side. And the best way to do that, not just with my fingers, but take the end of a paintbrush and put it on the inside. Now push it down on one side here. Take his paintbrush handle, put it in the inside tip of the ear here, and push it back through the hole. I can get it to set right. And here come my bear ear right there. Look at that. Pow-dow! Booyah! Ears are turned. And there goes Mr. Bear's ear right there. Minus some sawdust and crap in there. I still got to bondo these ears too. I'm going to lean this fella out, bring him over to y'all to see up close what I'm dealing with here. Okay, the bear hide. I got them all rehydrated. But his ears are inside out. Right? He has no ear. See? Just a hole right there. That's why I take my paintbrush, put it up inside of him, and push the ear back through, like I did the other one. That's how you get these ears get turned when they skin them, when you skin and flesh them. So you gotta turn them back inside, right side out. So I'm gonna put this paintbrush, tip of this paintbrush right here. So here's the ear right here. You can see it inside out. That's the ear. See? I got to push that bad boy back up in there. And it's got some cuts in it that I got to sew up. It's got cuts and stuff in it. So I got to sew those up. So what I'm going to do is just take this paintbrush handle, push this thing back up in here. Be very careful because I don't want to tear any of the hair and stuff off. There's a bear hide that's been sitting around for a little bit, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to do this bad boy up. I don't have a form. I have to get a form from down the road at McKenzie. And I have to measure them out, get the proper form for them, but there you go. Ear back in shape. Hopefully. Now see, there's a hole there, so some of that inside skin wants to come out. Ah, see? All this is sawdust from the tanning. You tumble tan these things in a dryer with a bunch of sawdust in it, and it gets all in the fur and everything, and you gotta work that stuff out. Now see, there's a rip in the back of the ear. I gotta sew that up, and then there's also a rip, it's a hole in the front and the back of the ear. So I gotta sew that up, and then all this hair, of course, naturally covers that. Then, of course, the lips and stuff have been turned. The nose has been cut and chewed and turned. So I got to redo that. I'm going to end up cutting this nose off. Probably not cutting it off, but I'm going to have to either make another form for it, make a nose for it, sculpt one the right size, and then I gotta do some sewing, nipping, and tucking, and all that. There's a bald spot here that I gotta patch up, and do that with hair. Just kind of do a little light. I might be able to replace some hair with that or brush it out. Here's another hole here in the throat. They think they have to cut these things open to make them bleed out. So there's a couple of holes in this thing to get cut. The major thing is I got his ears back in place. And then there's another cut on the side of here. It's likely flesh and cuts, but I don't know. The whole thing is ears are turned back out. It's just a little bear head. It's almost like a cub, but it's a small one. So I gotta hang this guy up and let him kind of dry out a little bit. I'm gonna do that right there. He's not dripping, so he's not wet. Now I got this salt water that I got to throw out. Toss this right outside the door. gun. Light just went out. The hell is that? Did it burn out or what? Shit. Yeah, the damn, see, this is stuff I got put up with. Shit, just electrical tripping and whatnot. Now look, when we get back over here, this foam form. Oh look, it's filling up. Isn't that nice? See, it's filled up and it's firmed up. So a little bit of leakies on the bottom, not bad. Not bad. I now have a solid foam form. Put a little bit more in there in the side. When you see the hole, pour just a tad bit more. I could actually use this. You know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna stuff this down in there. Just to fill up that spot. It'll harden. When it gets hard, it'll be good. It's not cured yet. So mash that in there. The foam will stick in there, but I'm going to mix up just a hair bit more just to get this thing firmly done. Just a hair bit more, not much. I'm going to turn this on the side and the back. Get all this poured out. It'll all go down in here. Put that on the side there. Shift this down here, let it go over there. Shift this back over here, let it go in here. Let it go and dwell where it's got to be. It's the whole thing about foam. Just let it go where it's got to go and let it be where it's going to be. Now work around it as you go. It's not a painting video or anything like this. It's really in the special one. I'm just doing a couple of things out here in the shop. I know some of you guys have missed me going live, so that's basically what I'm doing, just doing lives for this. Now what I can do with this is several things. One, if, like I said, I want to do a sculpting where I have a head turned differently, this creates a base for me able to put clay on and sculpt something on it and then be able to turn the head. Because when you have the forms, the forms like this, right? The head is solid, it won't turn. Can't do anything with this. If you want a slight turn or a tilt or whatever in the sculpt that you're doing for character expression, you have to have a head that's going to be adjusted to that expression. So what I wanted to do was make a base form where I could put clay on there and then sculpt expressionism in a character for a mannequin. This is for resin. So when I do this will be for mannequin display. So, you know, you can have different character turns, like say, let's say for example, Batman. I'm not doing anything with Batman, but let's say Batman, all right? You got the cowl and then you got the head and you want the head to be turned this way. Okay, well, you sculpt that out, then you have to sculpt the head and have the face turned that way, because if you're gonna put it on a mannequin, have it displayed somewhere in a certain pose or scene, that's what you can do. So that's why I said this form was busted, and it being busted allowed me to, and it's coming out a little bit, which is okay, because I can use that to my advantage. It seals the inside cracks of the front. So where it's coming out, it's actually sealing it up, which is not a problem. And then anything that comes out is, so I got it on the back here, just scrape it off, put it down here on the side. That way it'll bond with it, and I can have a pretty solid, rigid piece. So this is going to foam up, create the base for a neck so I can put clay down on it. Sculpt out a head, but I can turn it. And, you know, you just have different ways of expressing the character from different scenes of a movie or whatever. And that way you're not stuck with the same facing forward form that everybody does. And that's what I kept thinking. It kept driving me nuts, because I thought, what if I wanted to have a mannequin display or offer a mannequin display from a scene in a movie where the character's looking up at something, or, you know, they're looking down or sideways or whatever. How do you do that? Well, you can't do it on a mannequin form in a base way without having to sculpt it, mold it, clay pour it, and then cut it and adjust it, and then remold it. And I thought, you know what? That's too many steps. So what I want to do is cut out all that middle bullshit and just make something that you can put clay on, sculpt around, have your final form in the pose that you want it in, and then just mold it, and boom, you're done. That's it. So you don't have to do all this, mold it, pour it, mold it, remold it, do all that stuff, because it's wasting materials. So cut out all the middleman bullshit and do, you know, excuse me, I'm sorry, and just eliminate all that extra work. Work smarter, not harder. And that's what I'm doing. Working smarter and not harder. So now you can see the form is completely filled up. I just got to let it sit and harden, and it's hollow inside. So now it's a complete solid piece, which is going to be about double to triple the time of trying to get this thing to break. So I had a friend of mine, I won't mention his name, but he thought this was destroyed, but I had a hard time expressing to him what my intentions were with doing this. Because like I said, when you do a sculpting and you want to do a form of expression and you want it to be life-size, it's going to be difficult to do a different expression with a solid, rigid form. So I'm making my own custom base form to do expressionism sculpting with. So that's basically what this is. Anyway, that has to dry. I need to go get some freezer bags. I'm going to get this clay done, but y'all don't really need to see that. All this is basically I fill up this bucket with water about halfway, right? I've got that right here. Put water in the bucket. I had to clean it out because it had salt in it. Salt water for that bear hide. Now I gotta go to the bathroom. Ooh, I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta make some pee-pees. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Have mercy. All right. One more thing of water. I got all these milk jugs I keep filled with water so I can use them for ultra cow molding or whatever if I need it for whatever. And I always keep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I probably got 8 or 10 of these things filled with water in here. Okay, so I got this jug half filled. I need to go get some bags. I'll be right back. Hang on just a second. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so here's what I was doing the other day, and I was trying to explain to my friend that water-based clay is never ever destroyed when it dries out. And I did a video on how to quote-unquote save the clay and put it up on YouTube, but I did not do a follow-through. Now here's the bag, for example, of clay that's been put in a bag already that I used for that purpose. Now, you guys may be able to see if this bag's still wet, it's still sticky. Okay? Now what you're supposed to be able to do is take this clay in the bag, put it in the water, which alleviates all the air, and seal it really well. Make sure you have that seal on it and it's locked. Once it's locked, you just stand it up in the bucket and it does the same thing. It just stays there. Now I've got a bunch of these gallon bags. So what I'm going to do is take this clay, and I've got stuff up on the bench and everywhere that I got to work with. Casting molds and all that crap. But I got this garbage bag full of clay here that's been repurposed. So all I'm going to do now is just take this clay, which is still dried and or not formed yet. This could work, but it still sticks to my hands. And I want to get it kind of in a square format where the squares, and it makes it easier to work with. See, this is a water-based clay. It's got a combination of mold and minerals in it. And I forget what they call that. It's like basanite or something like that. I don't know what it is. There's a dirt earth thing. And like I said, clay comes in many different colors and forms. And what you can do is just take this out, put it in a Ziploc bag. And it's still sticky. It still sticks to my fingers like peanut butter. Not as bad, but still, you know, sticky. Some of this is dried on top. So, it's mushy. Yeah. Alright. For some people, it would just be cheaper to buy some more clay. But you know what? This is for those of you who don't have all the money in the world and your clay's dried out. Like here's some dried pieces right here. What do? You finished the sculpting. You molded it. You left it out. It dried. Oh no. Do you throw the clay away? No. You don't throw it away. Take it and put it in a Ziploc bag. Mush it together. Add a little bit of water. Add a couple of handfuls of water to it. You know. Keep the moisture in it. Seal up the bag about maybe 3/4 away, halfway. Dip it in the water. It sucks all the air out of the bag. And then you just zip it shut. Make sure it's locked. Now these bags have to sit in this water for probably about a week. Which is okay, because it gives me time to work on painting and stuff, and then when I'm ready to get back to sculpting, I've got fresh clay. So, you know, there's half a dozen ways to save money and time and stuff by using the same materials that you have. And by the way, even if your clay freezes in water, it's not destroyed. Why? Because it's water-based clay. It takes moisture to make the stuff pliable. The thing is, you're trying to control how much moisture it actually has. So what you're trying to do is eliminate about all but maybe 10% of the moisture that needs to make this pliable. If it's 100% moisturized and frozen, it's not destroyed. It is simply over wet. And they get like a peanut butter consistency. And people say, okay, make a plaster base and roll it out and dry it out in that plaster base. And I'm like, no, I don't have room to have, water-based clay laying around waiting to dry out or whatnot. Even if it is just for a couple of days, I don't have that room for that. So, what I'm doing, taking this, mashing it down, making bricks and boxes of clay. You can, mold this, smack it, do whatever you need to do with it. Make it however you want, shape-wise. It's always good to use a sealable bag and make sure your bag doesn't have holes in it, because if the water gets in there, it's going to make it mushy. I mean real mushy. Because when clay goes back to its original form, it's just nothing but mud. And you can't really work with wet mud. So that's why I'm doing this. Because it's hard to work with. It's got all these minerals and stuff that need to be repurposed into here. So, all I'm basically doing is just taking it, putting it back in the form, and the pressure from the water. The thing is the outside pressure from the water makes this work. It's weird. I saw it on YouTube, and I just thought, you know what, I gotta do this. Just gotta do it. But that's all I've got for right now, because I'm only got room for 3 of these bags in here at one time. So now it's just clean up and go inside and eat dinners. To make sure these things aren't leaking. That's the one thing. If they leak, you're done. If there's any leakage whatsoever, no good. So make sure they're resealed, good. All right. So I know it's first live back, and it's probably not very interesting, but you see some of the things that I'm working on, stuff I'm doing. Nothing important to you guys, but it's little stuff I gotta get done, piddling around kind of thing. So that's basically all this is. The next one, I'll be doing live paint-ups, because I've got some masks back here I've got to get to work on. So maybe tomorrow or the next day, I've got a situation where I got to figure out if this person we're doing an exchange with for the horse trailer is going to be able to, I got to get that figured out. I'm going to cover this up. I repurpose all my latex buckets, by the way, but you can get these buckets at Lowe's, Home Depot. They're not very much, only a couple of dollars. Empty buckets with lids. They're great. Wash your hands in. Have water for making ulcer cal. Whatever it is. That's basically what it is for. Well, look at this. So I got a foam form right here. Done. Solid. Oop, I've got to break this off. There we go. So I'm taking this tape off if I want. I'll leave it on there for the moment. And just take the tape off the back. Well, it's going to come off the bottom anyway. Look at that. The bottom really doesn't matter much as far as the foam goes. Basically what you've got now is a complete solid form. You got your head base, bottom's filled, just sand it out. Front, sand it down, back, sand it down. You've got a solid form. That's it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So there you go, a little lesson tutorial while I'm doing other stuff. Now I've got a base, which gets shaped up. Throw that stuff out. Take a knife and just scrape this off before it gets too hard. fill this up, but I want clay to pretty much play a big part in this. We'll just shave that right off the front. Well, redneck ingenuity. Nobody's done this before that I know of. So, there you go. Brand new form. Not going to really have a huge impact to be on the bottom, but oh well. Sand that down with sandpaper and whatnot. So that's done. Now just clean up. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Just clean this mess up. And you guys don't really need to see me do this, but let me get a knife again. Where's my knife? It's one of my backer board prototype for the Cujo. By the way, I've got fur come in for that. And I'm going to get to work on that here a little bit. A couple of days. Probably this weekend. I'm finally getting one of these guys molded up, skinned up, done up, and ready to go. Find me a bucket or something to put this in. Ow! Son of a bitch. 5 glass shards on the table. Damn. That hurt. Put them in the bag in the trash. Cool. Done. Eliminated. Alright guys. That's pretty much it for me. I'm going to go ahead and go back in and just... Ooh, cut my finger. I might die. Cootie bugs gonna get in there, kill me. Oh no. Got them COVID cootie bugs gonna get me. Alright, so I'm gonna actually leave this open and let this dry out a bit because this stupid clay doesn't want to play nice. Anyway, I appreciate it. That's all from me for the moment. I'm trying to get organized in here. I've still got stuff scattered around, but I've got a few paint ups and stuff I'm getting ready to work on. Still got the same half a dozen, 3/4 stuff that I haven't gotten into. Daggum. The Freddy, what was it? This is one. That's the one. This is Jason I'm going to work on next. But I'm not going to do it right now. I'm just going to get this prepped up. I'm going to put that thing beside there because I'm bleeding. Put a bunch of bags. Stuff this thing. Put them up on the stand. It's from eBay, by the way. And a replacement part 6 from eBay. I think this is EFS Studios or somebody. I can't remember what that is because it doesn't say. But somebody is producing the blanks and I just got them from eBay and boom, there it is. So when I come out tomorrow, I'll probably jump on getting this guy done. because he's up for sale on eBay, and I actually sold the other one, traded it actually. So this is a replacement for the one that I actually sold. So I don't want to have an ad that is falsely misleading. This is ready to go, so I gotta get done up and ready to go. So that's gonna be tomorrow. So anyway, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I know it's kind of a shit show thing, but it's what I had to work on. There we go. So it's what I had to work on, and it's what's getting done. Just me running around getting stuff done. That's it. So no problem. I got the Cujo noses. I actually need to make another mold for this. Whew. All right. Well, I'm gonna call it a. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I got an unboxing to do. This came back from Germany, so I need to inspect this real quick. Actually, this is the Jaws diorama thing that I did. I sent it to Germany. Apparently, the person that bought it couldn't pay the custom tax on it. So I got to inspect it and make sure it's still in good shape. Because I got to resell this thing. To make back the money I had to pay him back on, $400. I don't usually do refunds, but they were wanting him to pay up to $400 more for the customs on this. And I got to make sure they didn't butcher this thing in the process. Because I packaged it up. Made sure that it was shipped out in accordance. Okay. Yep, it came back nicely. Okay, so I can relist it for sale again. Put that on the side there for a second. Let me check out the shark and everything, make sure Bruce is still good. He's got popcorn all in his damn mouth, but yeah. Still good. Shark is still perfect. Everything's not broken. Went to Germany and came back, so. Yep, this model will go back up on the store for sale again. Take the things out of the mouth. Popcorn and shit. Packing popcorn. But yeah, he's ready to go. He's just gonna go back in there. I got Quentin here too, and I'm just gonna repackage this in the box, set it aside. So if anybody wants to buy it, it's already packed up, ready to go, and I can just reship it out. The actual base is still okay. Well, there is a little chip there. I'll have to find out if I put that chip up there. Ooh. Looks like there might be a little chip right here. Yep, a little piece come out the bottom. I'll glue that. Boom, we'll be good. Alright, so I got a couple of repairs to do on this, but yeah, it's going to be good. It'll be relisted up there. It's not an inexpensive piece by any means. I think it's about $400. So it's a dioramic display in resin. I might discount it a little bit because I'm having to do repairs on a couple of spots here and there, but other than that, I think that's good. So I appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys probably tomorrow or the next day. All right, thank you.